the European session and its usefulness for the rest of the day. So this one's going to be a little bit interesting and something that I think we've all kind of experienced at some point over the past, I don't know, 6 months. We come into the US session and it's like, man, the European session had all of the fun. What in the world is going on? The US session starts and then it goes dead, and then the European session has all the fun again. Well, there's a lot of things we can actually utilize off of the European session. Now, keep in mind, I'm Eastern time. So what I classify as the European session is the first portion of the morning, and that's from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., right? So 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., the first couple hours of the session. That would be, generally speaking, what you could consider the initial balance. If you were to compare that to the US session of the New York Stock Exchange, it'd be like starting at 9:30 and going until 11:30, right? It's about lunchtime. That's that first period where the market begins kind of moving and then when it kind of quiets down. The really cool thing that you're going to find about this specific area is that it responds so incredibly well as support and resistance. Now, I mean, it's super helpful that the day I'm recording this, it also has a to the tick bounce off of that level. But there's a lot of other cool things that we can utilize for this zone. What it gives us is an idea as to how far the market can actually move. Now, what I mean by that is if we take the distance of this zone from 3 to 5 a.m. And we deviate that higher, and we do this in one-to-one deviations, you'll very often find that a lot of times the market will reverse or pause or stall or just put in the high of day or low of day at these deviated levels. And there's very typically, at the very least, a strong response there at one point or another, if not multiple times for multiple days. Now, this isn't just like a one-day occurrence or anything like that. If we go back, I've got how many days of data loaded on this chart right now? I've got 35 days. Let's go 90 days back a little ways here. And then after we've got 90 days loaded up, I think I have to do it for both sessions. Yep. So we'll go back 90 days on all of them. And then what we can do is we'll look at one from December 8th. It's a little ways ago, but if we take this whole zone and we categorize the move lower, we expect that first move is going to procure a bounce off of the European deviation. The secondary move down is the next deviation. And the third one, well, they almost made it. And typically, this is something you'll see as well. When they miss one side, they usually go aggressively to the other. So if we take those exact same measurements and we drag them up towards the highs before the end of the day, they made it almost to the tick before it landed into the end of the day. And this is just a random day picked out of a hat because it was at the beginning of my chart. This happens over and over and over again. It's a really good guideline as far as where the market is likely trying to go. If it's breaking above the European session high and it's showing good bullish strength, then they're probably targeting some deviation of that initial morning move. You can do the same thing for the US session. You can do the same thing for any session you want. The only problem is with the US session, that doesn't give you a whole lot of time to play with. You run into the end of the day. So the beautiful thing about the European session is it gives you some time to still utilize it for the rest of the day and offers up some fantastic opportunities. So hopefully you found this useful, interesting, entertaining, and something that you can definitely add to your tool belt. Remember, I'm looking at a US-based market. I'm looking at the NASDAQ. And we're still utilizing the European session. Think of how powerful this ends up being on, actual European markets. The uses of this are endless. And again, any market, as long as you're bracketing the first portion of a session, you can utilize that as a measurement for the rest of the session. It's really, really cool. That's going to do it, though. Hopefully you found it useful, interesting, entertaining. Like we always say, stay safe out there. Keep those stops in play and let the winners run. Till the next one, we'll see y'all then. Thanks.